Hello and welcome to this training course on how to increase your prices by 10 to 20% today in just 3 easy steps. My name is Ewan Mingus and I'll be taking you through this training, so let's jump straight in. Can you really achieve this today? Yes, you can. Now, you may have been on similar courses to this in the past, and what you discovered was it was overly complex and you couldn't implement it in your business. You may found out that they miss some of the really important steps, so it doesn't really work without those, or they only show you what to do. They don't show you how to actually do it. Well, I can assure you today what you will get will be simple, straightforward steps. I will let you see everything you need to do to increase your prices by 10 to 20%. And I'll not just be showing you what to do, I will take you through exactly how to do it as well. Now, this training is primarily for new clients you'll be signing up, though some of it will be applicable to existing clients you have. Who's this course for? Well, first, who this course is not really for is those in the trades, the electricians, plumbers and joiners, startups less than 2 years old, or those selling online e-commerce. That does not include web developers building e-commerce websites. Though it will help some of those people, it's not specifically designed for them. Who it's for, if you have got less than 5 staff in your business, it might just be you. Your company is at least 2 years old and you're selling what I call professional services. You might be a graphic designer, HR provider, finance director, SEO, these type of services. Now, you may already have worked out what this would be worth to you, a 10 or even 20% increase in your prices. If you haven't, let me very quickly walk you through a typical example for what might be an SEO company, an HR company, a finance director providing a monthly service to a client. They're charging £100 a month. Annually, that's £1,200, and 6 clients typically signed up over a year, £7,200. If they were to increase their fees by 10%, that takes annually up to £1,320. And if you're signing up 6 clients, that's just under £8,000. Now, I've got a little surprise for you today. If you apply the steps that I'm teaching you today, not only will it allow you to increase your prices by 10 to 20%, but what it will also do is increase your conversion rate. So let's say you're now converting 7 clients over a 12-month period instead of 6. That is over £2,000 extra money. If you make the jump to 20%, annually that's you up to just over £1,400, over £8,500 for 6 clients, and if we get that conversion up to 8 clients, that's £11,500, an increase of £4,320. And for the accountants and finance directors in the audience today, that's a bottom line increase. Of course, it is all profit to you. Obviously, this is before taxes. Now, at this point, you might be wondering, can I increase my prices by up to 10% or by 20%? What I say to people is, once you've been through this whole training course, we're only going to be on here for 30 minutes, you will have a very good idea about where you can increase your prices to. You may begin on 10, and as you start closing sales, you might then feel more comfortable moving future sales up to 20%. You will know. So, what are the 3 steps? Price anchoring, price relativity, and price abstraction. Don't worry, I'm going to explain what all those terms mean, and the really exciting thing is you might not need all 3 of those steps to get that 10 or even 20% increase. You will know as we go through it. Watch this space. Step 1, price anchoring. So as we jump into this, this is not just my thoughts, although I've spent a lot of time thinking about this and implementing it. A lot of what I'm showing you today is taken from experts in the world of psychology who've done a lot of studies and theories into how this works and come up with the answers for us. Let me talk about one study that you may have heard of before. There was an organisation did a blind auction. Everyone in the room was handed out their auction paper to put their bid for the item on, and before they bid on the item, they were asked to write the last 3 digits of a bank card, or I think it might have been a security number, at the top right hand corner of their bid form. They were then asked to make a bid on the item, and the fascinating thing was those whose last 3 digits were down in the hundreds, 200s, 300s bid lower. Those whose last 3 digits were up in the 7, 8 and 900s bid higher, and it was actually a perfect curve. The higher the number, the higher the bid. There was another study done, this time it was by the BBC Horizon programme, and it was on the price of a bottle of champagne. So they set this study up on a river, and they were just stopping passerbys to ask them what they thought the price of the bottle of champagne was. Now, the way it was done was they had a bag of 100 balls numbered from 0 to 99, and this was explained to the passerby. What they had to do was select a ball out, look at the number, and then they had to guess what the price of the bottle of the champagne was. What they didn't tell the passerbys was they had fixed it, and it was A-B split tested. Group A had a bag of all number 10s, not 0 to 99 as they had been told, and Group B had a bag all of number 65s. So you're dying to know, what did they guess? Well, those who were guessing on the bag of 10s, everyone guessed between 10 and 12 pounds for the bottle of champagne. Those who had the bag of 65s, everyone guessed between 40 and 60 pounds for the bottle of champagne. Now, the really interesting thing here is we're speaking about price anchoring. The number that was selected from the bag of balls has got nothing to do with the product or service for sale. So let's look at some examples. Things that are not related to the price. Here's one I've just made up. The Cut Fast 450, just 349. Okay, or we're all selling services. What about the HR 500 support program for just 399 per month? Now you may be thinking, this seems absolutely ludicrous. How can this possibly work? It just does. It's the way we're wired. So let's start looking at how you can use that price anchor. Now I know I said this is not about e-commerce, but I just love this e-commerce from a popular website you might recognize. When you look at this, you immediately see 1,000 products. What you then might see is 1,400 spin, and some of you might have picked up £507 energy saving, all for the price of just £439. Now the reason I've chosen this example is I want you to understand the importance of price anchoring numbers that are within reach. You don't want to be choosing numbers that are way, way higher than the price that you have. These ones are all within reach. So let's have a think about numbers that you could use. Now the best advice I can give you here is link it to either the benefits for your client or something related to your business. I spoke to a lovely lady recently, and she was selling automation through systems within the business, and the biggest thing she delivered was savings in time, savings in hours. Now if you come up with a number and the number is miles from your price, you can often easily change the number. In the case of hours, you can do it annually, monthly, weekly, daily, hourly, to come up with the number that sits nicely next to your price. Now you might be something like a business coach or business advisor, and the number that you might be wanting to anchor with them is average revenue saved for clients you work with. If you're in sales or marketing, marketing leads generated or sales closed in average with clients that you've worked with might be a nice one to drop in there. In terms of yourself, if you've worked with 300 customers over the last year or 1,000 customers over the last 10 years, maybe that's the anchor that you want to put in here. It could also be product, like we looked at with the HR 500 support program, or it could be something else. But look at your business. What are the numbers that are really important either in your business or with the clients you work with? Now, something I always say at this point is please do not share your price early. Make sure that your client is at that point when they're ready to buy before you share the price. So if you've got the prices on your website, my advice is take them down, don't put them there. With the timing of when you share your price and the anchor coming in before that are really, really important. I did say I was going to show you how to do this today as well, and that's what we're going to talk about now. Where can you do this? If you've got a hidden page on your website, that's a nice place to put this. So if you've taken them through a sales process and you get to talking about the price, you pull up that hidden page. Somewhere towards the top, you'll have a price anchor. And as you work down the hidden page with your prospect, you then bring in the price. Just the same way, you can do this through a proposal document. I recommend that price anchor is either on what I call the investment page, or you have it 1 or 2 pages before the investment page. For some of you, you might close sales verbally, face-to-face, or on a Zoom call, and it's just bringing that anchor in verbally a minute or 2 before you start to speak about the price. If you're not doing proposals, maybe you do quotes, and it's just a 1-page quote you're sending out with the anchor and your price. It could be the product name, as we've explained before, or it could be something else that you have in that sales process that you used just now. Let's jump on. Step 2, price relativity. What are they comparing your price in relation to? Apples and pears. Some people will be looking online before they speak with you, and they'll be looking at your competitors, some of whom will have their prices online. And that's what they'll be comparing you with. For others, they'll be speaking to friends in business who've already bought your services from someone else, and they'll be asking them what they paid for that particular service. Other people, they'll compare you to similar services. They might compare accountants with solicitors. Now, apologies if you're an accountant or a solicitor and you're rolling your eyes saying you can't possibly compare me to them. People do. It's just what they do. They're desperate to compare you to something, and they'll pull things out, even though there's very little to no relation in those two services. For others, they'll compare you to the last time they bought something from you, and that could be 3-4 years ago, which is crazy because everything goes up in price, and no more than right now are things going up due to inflation. Other things might be completely random, or worse, they've got nothing to compare it to. They're just looking at your price and it feels expensive. So we need to give them that thing to compare to. Let's jump back to Dan Early. What I'd love you to do, you can either pause just now or watch this to the end and then jump on, but I'd love you to watch a TED Talk by Dan Early called Are We in Control of Our Own Decisions? In all the years I've been speaking about pricing to business owners, they roll their eyes in disbelief that no one's controlling their decision making around prices. They are. And it happens to me too. And I love trying to see when it's happening, whether I'm buying a new carpet, a new car, a chocolate bar, a coffee. Has something happened in that process that I wasn't aware of? It is happening all the time, I assure you. Jump on, have a look at this Dan Early TED Talk. It's a fascinating one about the economist selling the online only, the print only, or both versions, as you can see on the screen here. It will really start to open your eyes to this is happening to you, it's happening to your clients. And at this point, I'd like to say this is not an unethical practice to take money from people. This is about getting you paid what your true value is worth, getting you paid the amount of money, not just to keep up with inflation, but to take your business to the next level. That's what this is about. Now, hopefully you've enjoyed that video or you're watching it later, but let's jump in now to what we're doing and how we're doing it. I'm going to share with you a story now about a friend I have who had a TV shop 10 years ago. And I walked into it one day to meet with them, and in the front window was a 65-inch TV. It was huge. This was 10 years ago. I understand now everyone's got a 65-inch TV in the spare room, let alone their front room. But back then, 10 years ago, this was a huge television. I had to know how many of these did he sell. Well, he said none. He says the only reason I have a 65-inch television there is to sell the 49-inch television. And this is about that relativity. In relation to what are people comparing your price? You've got to give it to them, and the best way to do that is with your own products and services. So you need to line up your services, your products, and let them see them all so that they compare them. And when you do this, start with the biggest, the highest value first, down to the smallest. Now that's often the opposite to what people do. But again, the studies show when you start with the smallest, the average sale is smaller than if you were to flip it round and start with the highest price product. So make sure you're getting the right way around, highest price first, down to smallest. Now at this point you might be thinking, hold on Ewan, I've only got one or two services that I sell. This is not possible for me. Well, let me show you how you're going to do this now. You can very quickly increase your service offerings with very simple additions that can be done instantly in your business. Think about online resources, and you might have resources like you're watching here today, this short training video, that you can build in and offer for premium price. You might want to help your clients choose between face-to-face meetings and Zoom meetings. Now the effort for you to go out to them, the travel time, the fuel time, meetings always go on longer face-to-face. Some of them might be willing to pay a premium for that. A lot of people still believe there's much more value passed in face-to-face compared to a Zoom or Teams call. Reporting. I had one client did this. They found an automation tool for reporting in their business for next to no cost. They built it into their client's program and it offered huge value to their clients, and it was set up within minutes. What about an emergency call? Maybe you're in HR or finance and just occasionally, once a year, a client needs to speak with you in an evening or at a weekend. You could offer this in as a premium product. In my experience, people never use it. On the very rare occasions that they do use it, you don't mind giving up that time because there's a number of your clients paying this premium and it makes it well worth the while. If you're having monthly meetings, could you add in a quarterly meeting? What about free downloads? Most people I speak to, they have got documents, help guides written up, produced beautifully in PDF format that are in a folder somewhere that you can make these available to your clients for a premium fee. So you can take any one of these things, you can take all these things and you can pack them into different orders that give you very quickly a range of services at different prices. Step 3, price abstraction. Nobody wants to part with hard-earned cash. It's always difficult to swallow. You like to be in a position when people are buying from you, they're happy to buy before you're having to sell. We want to make it as easy as possible to swallow. Now, we live in a great world where things are electronic these days. The days of hard-earned cash getting handed over by hand or checks getting passed over are long gone. It's an electronic payment. If you're doing electronic payments, make sure you give them the option for hopefully a direct debit which automates everything, leaves you in control, or at the very least, a standing order for repeat payments. Making things easy, do you have card payments over the phone? This could be something to take that first payment, or it could be something to chase up late payers with. But think about what you can do to make payments easy for them. And the really important one here, the abstraction, is about taking money today and moving it into the future. Money in the future is much easier to part with rather than money today, which costs much more. So if someone, and I had a training company I worked with, they were charging out £9,000 at a time, either payable up front or at the end of a piece of work. Can you space that £9,000 out over a number of months, say 3 months, 3 payments of £3,000? This also gives you the option to maybe put a small premium on for those monthly payments, maybe 3,100 rather than just the 3,000. But deferring those payments, splitting them into smaller chunks, pushing it into the future, it just makes it much easier for your customers to swallow, assuming you can cash flow this into your business. Now, I've given you those 3 steps. They are more than enough to give you that 10 to 20% increase in your prices. But what I'd like to do today is give you a bonus step for free. And this step is all about offering something for free. Back to Dan Early. Now, we want to give something to your customers, your clients, that is low cost or no cost to you. And this is delivered right at the point where you're telling them what the fees are for your services. Now, in this study that Dan Early did, he originally took these chocolates onto the street, the large truffle for 25 cents and the small chocolate for 1 cent. Most people went for the large truffle at 24 cents. He then did a 1 cent discount on both chocolates. So the truffle was now 24 cents and the small chocolate was free. 100% of people took the small chocolate for free. People love things for free. So again, think about what you have. You've been in business a few years. You will have things you can give for free. Now, it could be a training course like you have here today. Now, if it's a training course like this, it does take a little bit of work, maybe a day's time to make it up. But if it's a good one, once you've got it, you can hand it out again and again and again for years to come. You might want to offer the first month of service for free, if you can do that. Or you might have some documents, downloads, PDFs, the secrets to something within your sector that you can bolt on as well. Just something small that is low cost or no cost to you, but of high value to the clients you're giving it to. A lovely little sweetener like the chocolates to get them over the line. Now let's just finish off with a little summary on the learnings today and to make sure you get this implemented in your business. First, this small change does make a big financial impact on your bottom line, on that money going in your pocket. What I've shown you today, as I said I would, it is simple. You don't need to do all these steps. I've shown you everything that you need to do, and I've shown you how to do it in your business. Here's the summary of what you're going to do. Step 1 is that price anchor. Thinking about the number connected to either a client benefit or to your business and where you place it in your documentation and sales process. That relativity. What is your price in relation to? This is about expanding your service offering, if you need to, so that you can have the biggest services first going down to the smallest. Step 3 is that price abstraction, putting those numbers into the future, if you can, over a number of months with easy electronic payments. And that bonus step, what can you give them for free? Just at the point of purchase, a little sweetener, something you've already got there that is no effort to pull together. Now, finally, I just want to give a little word of caution. Some of you may be getting really excited right now, thinking, I could increase my prices by 30, 40, 50%. I've heard Ewan talking about 100% increase. Whilst I do help people to get increases of 50, 100% or more, what I've shown you today, I'm confident will get you that 10 or 20% price increase. However, if you're looking for an increase of 50, 100% or more, it takes more work. Now, it's nice, easy steps, and I walk people through this all the time, but it is significantly more work to get to that point. It means looking at your business model and doing a little bit of work around how we can change that. It means looking at how we get across the true value of what you're offering in your communications. It's putting in place what I call a business analysis questionnaire that you use in sales meetings to hold up a mirror to your prospects and let them see the value. It's about getting people warm before you sign them up. It's about a step-by-step structured process that takes them to that buying point. And it's about a proposal document that raises you head and shoulders above your competitors. So please do take care. You might be excited about a bigger price increase. I would just caution if you were. Thank you so much for listening to this training today. If you haven't done so already, please do connect with me on LinkedIn, send me a message, say hello. If you've got any questions on this training, please do ask me a question. I'd love to answer it and help you further. You'll see on my LinkedIn profile a link to jump to the big leagues. That's where these materials come from. You will see I do different things because I practice what I preach, and I'm using these materials selling into bigger clients with my Concord product. And if you've found this has helped you greatly, please drop me a recommendation on LinkedIn. It would make my day. I look forward to hearing how you get on. Have a great day. Bye for now.